I tried making this video and it ended up being 20 minutes long, and then it ended up being 40 minutes long, and I'm like, my audience doesn't want to hear me yap for a whole fucking half an hour about my health. They don't really care about me as much as my old audience on my lead vlogging channel, even though not even those people really cared about me either. So I'll just say everything in a nutshell if it's possible. I am very disorganized in my thinking. Basically, in a nutshell, to get the shit out of the way, music, music update is I'm still on a hiatus. I might not ever go back to making music. I'm gonna lose a lot of subscribers. Even if I quit making music, I will still talk about music stuff. In fact, I might want to actually fix my description of my channel, and because I don't want to get too derailed off of this account. I don't want to transform this into a vlogging, because I used, basically in a nutshell, I used to have a vlogging YouTube channel, but I deleted it because it was too personal and people were making fun of it. I don't want to turn this into something else. I want this to always go back to music in some kind of capacity and mostly be about my music. But I should probably edit the description of my channel because it's gone beyond just one man band who makes music. I talk about music in general and just stuff in general. Um, Even if I basically in a nutshell, even if I stop making music, I will always talk about other people's music. I was kind of against going revering other bands. I was always against talking about other bands because I didn't want to become the next Anthony Fantana or a music reviewer or a music critic, and I don't want to piss people off and get dislikes because I offended someone's senpai music god or whatever. Um, I don't know. Basically, in a nutshell, music update. I'm not. I have. I originally had like 10 music ideas. Well, now it's gotten to the point to where I've got about 20 different song ideas now, and I might not even do any of them. Like I might do some of them, I might not do any of them at all. Because my physical health has just been so terrible. You know, I had the worst headache ever in my life, a 9 out of 10 headache on August 20th at 10 p.m. and it lasted to August 21st at 8 p.m. I think there were breaks in between, but it was mostly constant. I think it was a thunderclap headache, both sides of my head at the same time, right-sided headache, which usually I do get the right side headache. Um, Both sides of the head thunderclap, again, that was new. I've never had that before, worst headache of my life. In case you're new to my channel, in case you don't know what the fuck is going on, I've been dealing with ice pick headaches ever since 2021. They last for 3 seconds or 1 second. I've been dealing with ice pick headaches, jabs and jolts for years. And now in 2025, it's transitioned into pressure headache up here, and it lasts longer for hours sometimes. I've always had facial numbness though ever since 2021. But my headache pattern has changed, and the duration has changed, and just everything has changed, and everything just keeps changing with my headaches. And I had an MRI, they didn't find anything really, and no one knows what the fuck it is. I'm convinced it's a brain aneurysm or a cerebral venous sinus thrombosis. I never had my arteries and my brain checked or the veins, so it's not completely out of the realms of reality. However, I have been contemplating that it could just be mental illness. One doctor thought I was schizoaffective, but I have some issues with that diagnosis. I think I just have psychosis. Now, where the psychosis is coming from, what's causing it, I don't fucking know. Maybe it's homocystinuria due to vitamin B12 deficiency. Because homocystinuria causes homocystinuria causes vitamin B12 deficiency, which B12 deficiency can cause psychosis in some people. I don't know if that's where my psychosis is coming from. I have an issue with the schizophrenia diagnosis because it's too specific of a psychosis, where it's just too specific of a psychosis because it claims that most people with it hear voices, and I barely do. And it says that even when people do hear voices, it's all negative. And even when I do hear voices, they're not negative. I don't hear down degrading talk. The only time I hear degrading talk is when, and I'm not making a joke when I say this, is when I'm watching the humiliation porn fetish. And that stuff really does is like kind of like a simulated schizophrenia in a sense, because those types of videos, because you'll be like one after another, like saying you're this, you're that, you're this, or sometimes the voices will be overlaid over each other. Those type of p-hub kind of videos, those hypnosis videos or whatever. They kind of are kind of like in a way a simulation of schizophrenia or psychosis in a way, that fetish kind of in a way. But I don't hear negative voices telling me that, and not even I myself say those negative things about, like, not even I myself say those stuff to myself, or if I do, it's a part of my kink. But I don't have bad thoughts or anything. I don't have bad OCD thoughts or anything. One doctor did thought I was antisocial personality disorder, but I don't really agree with that diagnosis, because that just basically insists that I'm a liar and that I mess with people, which isn't true. I just have anger issues and I have a messed up morality. I'm not a bad person, though. I keep to myself, but I don't know. But basically, yes. I had front headache of gushing, and I heard it too. It was like, as I was laying down, I was like, and then my left eye was twitching, which is weird because usually my right eye twitches, never the left. So I found that kind of weird, and it's like, what the fuck is going on with me? I had pain behind my left eye. And yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with me. Doctors can't figure it out. I don't know if it's conversion disorder. I don't know if it is some weird psychosis of schizophrenia where I'm hallucinating tactile hallucinations, where I'm feeling these headaches, and I'm contemplating that the headaches not my. I'm contemplating that the headaches might not even be real. I'm contemplating that the headaches might be tactile hallucinations where I'm feeling things that are not really there, which is tactile hallucinations is not really common in schizophrenia. I want to keep this video very short. I tried recording this and it ended up being 40 minutes. I don't want. I'm convinced I have spirits. I have demons. I'm convinced I'm being attacked by demons. And I used to mess around with demons and different various gods. I'm convinced this is not schizophrenia because I don't hear negative voices. I don't hear negative voices telling me things. All I hear is Johnny and hey. And Johnny, don't do it, even though I'm not doing anything wrong. And Johnny, no. Like, I hear that outside of my head and shit like that, but I don't hear any negative shit. I barely hear voices anyways. Those are voices outside of my head. The voices inside of my head say, there is no God, even though I'm not an atheist. And did you do the dishes this morning? And you just want attention. And then I heard one voice outside of my head screaming, hey, like a whisper scream. Hey. I hear hey a lot. It's like, hey, or hey. It's either scream whispering or just normal whispering. But I don't know. I don't think it's schizophrenia because it's. I feel like I have a generalized, vague version of psychosis. But basically, in a nutshell, I don't think I have somatic symptom disorder. I don't think it's health anxiety hypochondria. I don't think it's even conversion disorder or functional neurological disorder. I think I'm just damn delulu or something. The headaches on August 20th through 21, 20th through 21st. Again, 10 p.m. through 8 p.m. I feel like I got beaten up by spirits, or not physically. Like, I'm not saying I felt like I got punched in my chest and my arms, or I'm saying the headaches. Those headaches, that thunderclap headache that I had was so debilitating that physically I felt fatigued. I felt like I don't know. I was banging my head against the fucking pillow and screaming at my parents, and they didn't fucking understand it, and I don't know what I'm going, but these headaches are very destroying my creative process of making these songs, my 20 fucking songs. It was originally 10 songs. Now it's gone up to 20. I might not even do some of them or any of them. You may never hear. I mean, they're just song titles. Like, there's no instrumentals, there's no lyrics, it's just song titles and what I want the genre to be and the influences that I'm influenced by song titles. But I might never do it. I'm on a hiatus. In fact, I may never go back on making music ever again. Doesn't mean I'll stop making videos. I'll still talk about my music or other people's music. You know, it's so easy to make a video. It's very hard to make music. You have to process it. And anyways, so that's my physical health and my mental health. Is it just mental illness making me feel these headaches because MRI showed nothing and no one believes me? I don't fucking know. I have a fucking headache specialist in September. I don't know what these headaches are. I may never know what it is. Brain tumor was ruled out, but a brain aneurysm has not been ruled out. Cerebral venous sinus thrombosis, I'm contemplating that might be a thing in me. I might have that, but I don't know. I never got my veins or arteries checked. I don't know what I have. I may never know. I may drop one day off the planet due to these headaches. I don't know. You never know. And if you never hear from me again, I have passed away from some kind of mysterious, some kind of illness. I don't know what it is. That's always in the back of my head, not metaphorically speaking. No, it is metaphorically speaking. That's always in the. No, it's always. That thought is always in the front of my head of, I've been having dreams of dead relatives lately, So this is just my physical health update, mental health update, music, whatever the fuck update. Speaking of dreams, I want to give a shout out to Jasper Jester Gents, or his name is Memories of Jasper now. I find it very interesting how he changed his channel name to Memories with Jasper, because even though I am also, again, his YouTube channel is Memories of Jasper. He's like a acquaintance of mine or a friend of mine or whatever. I find it very interesting that his YouTube channel is titled Memories of Jasper or Memories with Jasper or whatever, because I find it very interesting how he's fascinated by memories, because for me it's never been so much memories. Don't get me wrong, I am fascinated by my memories, but I've been more fascinated with dreams. I would so totally make a channel dedicated to dreams, but I don't kind of feel like doing that. I don't want to be too open again. Again, I used to have a vlogging channel, but I deleted it because I was way too open on there and I was being trolled on there. I'm more fascinated by dreams. I used to make videos about my dreams, and there would always be a metaphorical meaning that would actually, relate to me in some kind of way. Dreammoods.com, I think it is. They are so accurate, you know what I mean? I had a dream of a castle and being at an airport and being in an airplane and the meanings behind some of it, what I was going through at the time. That website matched. But I've been having these weird dreams lately. I keep having dreams of dead relatives, and I don't know if they're warning me of something, you know what I mean? Usually I take my dreams metaphorically, but this one I'm taking literally. I think it's a spiritual sign of something. That I'm ready, something bad's gonna happen to me or something. They're warning me about something, I had a dream of my cousin, and then I had a dream of my another cousin, and then I think I had a dream about one of my grandmas or something. I don't know. They're all deceased, by the way. I don't know. I think there's a spiritual meaning behind that, or a religious meaning, or I don't know. I think there is. I don't know. But I left a comment on Jasper's. No. I tagged him in a video. And I asked him about his Discord, and he never. The thing about Jasper that I don't like is that. I'm not saying this to offend him or anything. He'll be on YouTube for and then he'll disappear for 3 or 5 days, and then he'll appear again. I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't say that's not. It's that. I don't dislike him as a person because he does that. He has a life. Like everyone has a life. Like I understand that, but what I'm trying to get at is that there's a thread, and I asked him. I tagged him in a YouTube post, and I recently added to that thread. Do you have a Discord? And he never replied to that because he's off of YouTube at the moment. Like he hasn't been on YouTube in a couple of days. Again, I don't dislike him as a person because he always, people need to take breaks from YouTube. He's going, maybe I shouldn't have phrased it that way. I apologize. What I'm trying to get at, I'm edging this fucking video way too fucking long, is that I wish he had some kind of alternative, like, I wish he had Discord or something where I could, like, in moments where he's not on YouTube. In moments where he's not on YouTube, I wish I could have, like, an application where I could talk to him, like, more frequently, and that's basically what I'm trying to get at. I don't have a Facebook. I tried creating a Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg didn't consider me a real person for some reason. The scanning system said you're not a real person. The dude that looks like a reptilian thinks that I'm not a human. Okay. No offense to Mark Zuckerberg. But I don't know. I can't create a Facebook. I don't like. I'm not gonna get into that. Jasper did have a Discord, but I don't know if he uses it anymore. I tried sending him a friend request on there, and it's still pending. So I don't know if he abandoned that Discord. I don't know if he still uses it. I don't know. I was just. He's not really someone that has a lot of social media. You know what I mean? At least not to my knowledge. I don't know if it's a part of his mental issues, because he does have mental issues that cause him to be a loner and stuff like that. I don't want to say what the diagnosis is because I don't know if he wants me to say what he was diagnosed with. I don't know if he wants me to say that, but he has been diagnosed with social issues where he's not really talkative to people in real life, and he doesn't really have that much social media. He's basically a solitary individual kind of a person. You know what I mean? Um, you don't ask why I winked. He'll know what that means, but I don't know. It's just it'd be nice if I could talk to him frequently because he's not always on YouTube, and I'm not always on YouTube. So it'd be nice if we had like a backup place to talk to. But it's okay if not. It's okay if it just stays on YouTube. That's completely fine. That's just completely fine. Whatever. But yeah, that's just how I am. I don't want to be editing this video way too long. The original version of this was fucking 40 minutes. Fuck that. I'm gonna end this. I don't know when I'm ever gonna make music again, if ever. Um, I do have video ideas though. I do have video ideas talking about other bands. But that's basically it. Oh, and about the tactile hallucinations, yes. Even though, like, even though I'm mostly feeling like tactile headaches, I have in the past felt things grabbing my hands, like as if I'm in a virtual reality or something. Like a spirit is grabbing my hands, and then I felt pain in the back of my knee pit, not my armpit, but my knee pit. Um, like as if someone slapped me, and I was like, ah, what was that? I do feel weird things touching me sometimes, so maybe it is schizophrenia, but I don't know if it is. I have no idea what I'm going through. Tactile hallucinations is pretty rare on schizophrenia. I just say I have psychosis. I know psychiatrists said I got schizoaffective. I don't know if that's truly what I have because I don't know if I have bipolar. My moods are never really random. My moods are never really random. I'm always reacting to something, like a hater on the internet or something, or my day not going well. I don't really hear voices, and when I do, they're not really negative. At least not the ones outside of my head. The ones inside of my head are negative, but it's not me that's saying it, and it's not OCD. I don't know what it is. Okay. So yeah. I'm going through a spiritual attack. I think I'm being attacked by demons because I used to contact demons and different gods. I think it's a spiritual thing. I don't think it's schizophrenia. I've been seeing shadows in the corner of my eyes again. I've been sensing things that are not there, which is a sign of schizotypal personality. I don't have that, but I have friends that have that. I sense things that are not there. I'm starting to sense things that are not there. Um, you know, and life has been feeling very weird lately. Like kind of like people with the seizure. I don't have seizures to my knowledge. But people with epilepsy, they'll get this very weird feeling like deja vu or the opposite of that, which is jamais vu, which is basically familiar things feel unfamiliar. I've been getting that lately. I've been getting this weird feeling like I'm just sitting at my table eating my food saying, I know this is familiar, but it doesn't feel familiar. Like something feels off in the environment. Not even just in the house, I mean, just in life in general. Something feels weird. Like derealization, depersonalization. I feel like very derealized and depersonalized and dissociation lately. Like I'm in a dream, like something like I'm in a simulation, like something doesn't feel right. I don't know if I am having seizures. I don't know what it is, but with these headaches and these weird feelings, the headaches are not stress. The headaches are not anxiety. This is not a panic attack. It's headaches causing a panic attack, which is causing rage fits of me slamming my head against a fucking pillow. Not a wall, the pillow. The wall of the pillow of the wall. And I'm screaming, ah, and I can barely get up. I've been eating here and there. I can barely get up. Screaming at my parents. No one can help me. And I don't know, this is a spiritual attack. I don't know if this is a demonic attack. I don't know what this illness is. No one knows what this illness is. MRI brain scan showed nothing. No one knows what this is. I don't know. I think because they can't figure out what it is, it's either schizophrenia, some kind of psychosis, or it's a spiritual thing. I have no idea. And let me just add, I can't believe I didn't say that. I'm not religious. I am spiritual. Like I'm a spiritualist. Like I believe in spirits and I believe in spirits, aka ghosts. But I'm not religious. I'll never go to religion. I did actually like my one of my friends, Corinne's gonna get pissed off. Well, but hear what I have to say. I did try to like give hope for Jesus and God recently, and I did try to pray to Jesus and God, or at least talk to them out loud or in my head. I don't know what I did. I forgot what I did, and nothing really happened. I don't know if it's because people could be like, "Well, you were just testing out to see if God was real or not. You didn't actually mean it." You know, you shouldn't be testing God to see if He's real or if it's legit or not, or you shouldn't be testing God to see if you'll get healed or not. You should really, if you really want to get healed, you really have to believe in Jesus and God, and you really have to mean it that you want to be healed, not just let's just test it out. I know, but I don't know. I don't buy into Christianity. I have my own theories about spirituality, about ghosts and all that weird stuff. But I'm just saying, if people are gonna say pray for if people are gonna pray for me, or if people are gonna tell me to pray, well, I have my issues with religion. Some aspects of religion, not the whole thing. Um, I don't want to get into that. But yeah.